right, I'm Jason Prifogle. I compete in the Highland Games. This year I was invited to compete as a lightweight in the World Championships down in Green Cove, Florida. So I've got about 9 weeks to make weight under 200 pounds. I usually compete in the heavies. I'm a smaller heavy, but I'll get my body weight up to about 240 or 250. When I decided to do this, it was on June 11th. I weighed 242. Today, I ended up weighing 212. So I've lost 30 pounds. We're gonna document my nutrition and my training over the next 8 or 9 weeks. We're gonna do a video a week, and it'll have my morning training sessions, afternoon throwing sessions, and my diet and nutrition. I have 4.5 pounds of bison and 93.7 ground beef. So I've just put them into 1/4 pound patties. Of all my preps, this is probably the most boring preps for food. I try to get everything prepared for the week. I'm also a power lineman, so we can work a lot. And if I don't control what I'm eating by doing this in a day, then I get unhealthy food that I don't need to eat. So I've got some asparagus that I'll end up putting in the oven. I've got Brussels sprouts I'll put in the oven, and then I've got my bell peppers, onions that I end up putting in the air fryer just because I like the taste of them. A couple things I do to help me diet. I do the keto bread. The only thing you got to watch on this stuff is it's really high in fiber, so it can get you kind of bound up, but it does save you on the calories and on the carbs. Same thing with the carb counter there. Also for my snacks, because I'm usually in gaining mode at this point in time, I'm usually eating a lot of stuff that maybe I shouldn't eat. I try to stay healthy, but for me in the evenings, I found these are really good, low carb, and then it's got a good amount of protein as well. Depending on if I'm getting my macros in on protein or not, I'll keep some of these in my lunch box, just so if I do have to work late, I can have something quick and easy. I've got my chicken breast over here. I'm gonna end up throwing in the oven, and then I'll shred it up and end up making a avocado chicken salad. That's usually good for about 2 to 3 days. The avocado starts to turn colors, and that doesn't look as delicious. Salad just to fill my belly.
Get in my belly!
I usually do everything outside on the flat top, but as you can see, it's raining, so I get to make a bigger mess in the house, which I didn't really want to do. Took me about an hour to prep everything, get everything ready, and now my goal is to be done within 2 hours and have it all cooked. So here we go. Do like some good Wagyu beef tallow. So I do a Stan Efferding monster mash as well if I'm needing carbs or if I'm not feeling that great, and I need to bump my carbs up. Right now I've got usually do about 60 carbs a day, 80 grams of fat and 250 grams of protein, but some days I'm needing more, so I will make 3 to 4 meals that have about 60 carbs in them, 60 grams of protein. That way I can get my carbs up if I have to, if I work late and I'm just exhausted. And if you don't have a rice maker, you need to get one. They are amazing.
What's wrong with you?
I used to make really big patties, and they would be so meaty that I didn't really enjoy eating them, so now I do the thinner, and I just smash them down, and I eat about a ½ pound at each meal, and I like it better than just that huge, thick ½ pound patty that stood by itself. And the air fryer is really cool. It's really easy, and it kind of makes your vegetables taste, I don't know, I think a little bit better.
So good and tasty?
So I do two whole avocados, and then usually 2 chicken breasts, a little bit of lime and cilantro. So the one thing about cooking early like this. I've got a microwave on my work truck that I can use, but you have to recook your food. So when you do that, it's really easy to have your food overcooked. So I almost undercook it a little bit on when it comes to the red meat, and then that way I can microwave it and it still tastes pretty good and it doesn't taste like beef jerky. That's pretty much ready for when the chicken gets done. You can go ahead and prep. I take a salad with me to work, and then either that or I'll have it for dinner. But usually about 2 cups. Everything's clean, so.
Nice.
Found that the more you can prep, the easier it is to stick with a plan. Now I will add some shredded cheese sometimes, not all the time. Just depends on what I'm trying to do on calories. Like right now I'm at 2,000 calories a day. When I first started I was at 1,900, and going from a 6,000 to 8,000 calorie diet, that was pretty drastic. So, but there's one lunch. Macros on that are going to be about 50 grams of protein. I'll add the bell peppers and the asparagus to it, so it's probably on the carbs, I think like 6 or 9 carbs total. Perfect. I know a lot of people just say, okay, we'll just do ground turkey and broccoli, or chicken and broccoli. It just seems like those diets, when it comes to actually enjoying them, don't last long.
Gotta be honest with you, tastes like shit.
And I think when you do stuff like that, it makes you want to go and cheat on your diet a lot more often. So do my best to make it as tasty as possible.
So good.
But while also keeping the calories and macros where they need to be. Organizing is also key. What I use as my salad dressing right here. So I just use salsa. So yeah, 10 calories. It's an easy way to keep your calories low, because if you look at any of these salad dressings, I don't even have many in here, if any. They're just loaded like this right here. So this is a simply vinaigrette Greek. That's 120 calories for 2 tablespoons. It's only got 1 carb, but it's loaded with fat, which sometimes I don't mind. I'm just trying to keep the calories low. So anytime you're increasing your fats, even if you are going low carb, you're increasing your calories pretty high by going high fat. So now at this point, I've got pretty much my 5 lunches done. 6 actually total. Everything else I'll kind of combine now into less containers, and then as I use them, I'll clean them and then reuse, because we start to run out of space. Now this is also my big lifesaver. So I usually do the full fat, but I'm typically not dieting down the way I am right now. So right now I'm doing the zero, I think they call it Faye, but it's 90 calories for 3/4 cup. I usually do a cup. So I just do 1 cup of that yogurt, and then I mix it with this, which is absolutely delicious. Obviously I am not being paid by them. It is fantastic. So 25 grams of protein, 130 calories. So really I'm getting about 230, 240 calories, and then like 45 grams of protein, but it also tastes really good. But these right here, what I like to do at night when I get my cravings.
Oh, busted.
And I'm usually not into all this carb master type stuff, but 3 carbs, 3 sugars, 60 calories per 8-ounce glass. And then I do one of these with it. It gives me 30 something grams of protein, and I think these are 180 calories plus 60. So we're looking at 240 calories while getting 30 grams of protein. It's pretty good when it kind of feels like a snack.
I'm having this as a yummy snack.
I also have my good old nutritional scale here. It breaks everything down as well. All you gotta do is put in the code, weigh it, and then it'll actually tell you all your fats, your carbs, your protein on there. I like that as well.
I like you a lot.
So these I'll just keep all together and then dish them out, usually at dinner. I like to make a burger, which makes me feel like I'm not dieting. I use the keto bread, I use the burgers, and I do Gouda cheese with a little bit of mustard. Gives me about 400 calories, 50 grams of protein, and then I throw a vegetable with it, something that can be warmed up. If I'm in a rush, I'll have the salad. And then most of this stuff too, my kids and my wife, they like to eat it as well, and make sure that I make enough where everybody can have some, because if it's good for me, it's good for them as well. So I do like to hit a little bit of lime right on top. We're almost full. And that's my favorite seasoning that I use. I usually use this on my chicken. I've got all kinds of them. But that one is the best one.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
1 cup of rice. So it's half and half, whatever. If you do a cup of uncooked rice, you add a cup of water with the rice. This thing takes all the thought process out of it, and I guess it, either weighs it or it has a little, like it has to weigh it, but you put in what type of rice and it figures out the amount of weight that you have in there. I will say right now is the best time to eat all of this, right when it's cooked, but I don't have that luxury.
King in the castle, king in the castle.
So I use organic bone broth chicken. I'll do about a cup. I'll do a little less than a cup because I've got 5 meals, but it just keeps the rice moist and the beef.
Where's the beef?
And it's easier to eat and spill it everywhere. And you can put the veggies right on top of this. I do use a little bit of cheese right on top. I'm a big cheese fan, love cheese.
Cheese.
But with the high fiber and the cheese, you also need to make sure you're eating yogurt, something to help with digestion, because the fiber can want to bind you up a little bit.
My tummy hurt.
This is a Monster Mash. So this is Stan Efferding's Monster Mash, but I eat this when I'm gaining, and you can also eat it when you're trying to lose too. You just don't eat as much of it, but it's really easy to eat and really easy to make. So his whole story behind it was he had had like some type of surgery on the roof of his mouth, and it was really painful for him to eat, but he needed something to be more, I guess, softer or more like liquid type. And he ended up doing like I think the orange juice and yogurt, but for that. But then he also did this, I think, for digestion, is that when he would make it like more soupy and mixed up like this, it was just easier to funnel down. So a lot of the strong men do it. A lot of them eat it as well, just because it's easy to get your calories in, digest easy, and then the collagen in the bone broth is important. The rice, obviously, for your carbohydrates, and then the ground beef for digestion, so you don't have to sit there and chew it constantly. Most people do like eating, but when you're eating at that level, like I've eaten, 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day before. When you're eating at that level, Sometimes you don't enjoy it. You just got to get it in.
That's what she said.
A little Himalayan sea salt, fresh cracked black pepper, quarter cup of cheese. Cup of cheese.
Cup of cheese!
So I don't put a ton. I used to. I can't now. And I kind of give it a little bit of a guesstimate. So cheese makes everything better. Now those are done. All we got to do now is we get the chicken out. I will cut it, shred it. I only eat about half of these for a serving if needed. Season it with the Kinder's lemon pepper, and then I do a little bit of salt and pepper on top of that, and lime, and a little bit of olive oil too. If I need some chicken, I have some. I can cut it up, add it to a salad, or whatever, make a sandwich. Now you just got to find a place to put it. I like to clean as I cook. I hate a mess. Can't stand it, really. So like most of these that I find, these recipes, what I'll usually do is I'll usually just add more protein. Usually it's 2 avocados and 1 chicken breast. I do 2 avocados, 2 chicken breasts. Double.
Another one.
And then I smash.
That's what she said.
A little more lime. A little more cilantro. I think it was 90 grams of protein for all of it. So I would probably break this down into about 4 servings, 22 and a half grams of protein per serving. But I just put it into 2 and then separate it as needed. It's the stupid simple macro counter is what I use, but I like it because it has pictures.
Too bad I'm not reading them.
It makes it easy on me. But right now I'm on a somewhat of a keto diet, you could say. But it's 255 grams protein, 82 carbs, or 82 fats, 60 carbs for 2,000 calories per day. I have it set up where I have a cheat day, and then I have one also. It's like a metabolic rate one where if I feel like I need a little bit more, I can go up to 2,300. It bumps my carbs up as well. So, but this is what I stick with on a daily basis. And then I go to my foods and I go to meals. So the bison or the 93.7 are pretty similar. 56 grams of protein actually, 25 fats, 7 carbs, 490 calories. That's that with a salad or a serving of really any of the vegetables. The Monster Mash, which is the heaviest of the meals, but for this one here, all of this together at once would be 77 grams protein, 73 carbs, 32 grams of fat. So that is definitely a high meal, and I will probably cut that in half if I'm needing to bump my carbs up, and I'll eat that, half a serving of that, just depending on the day. The avocado chicken salad is 320 calories, 26 grams of protein, 21 grams of fat, and 1.5 carbs. That pretty much breaks down everything that we cooked today. The snacks, stuff like that. Biggest key is that I'm keeping within my calories and my macros, which are 2,000 calories, 250 grams of protein, 80 grams of fat, 60 carbs per day right now.